Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I'm here for a little Ink of the Week review. This past week, 13th through, let's see, it'll be tomorrow will be the 20th. I chose to focus on the Diamine Ancient Copper ink. I had it in my TWSBI Eco in this one. Both of these are broad nibs. Clear, I just specify what cap or end I'm using so I know which TWSBI pen I'm using, even though they're like should be the same. I feel like there's some slight variations with them. And then I also, whoops, not that one, had it in the Lamy Safari Mango. So I had a really good experience with both of these pens with this ink. Let's see, what did I, Ancient Copper in the TWSBI feels nice on Stalogy paper, so I took that note because sometimes I forget if I'm using anything extra besides the Tomoe River paper and the Cosmo Air Light. I might forget which ones I kind of doodled around on, and so let me just show you. I just wrote here that I was doing a video on that, but it felt really smooth. It really worked quite nicely on the Stalogy. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. Sorry ahead of time. If I sneeze in the middle of this. So anyway, let's see. I had a long writing session in my Tomoe River notebook, my Kanzo Noto, and it just seemed like it wrote really well. It kept writing, kept writing. It seems like maybe towards, after a while, I don't want to say it got dry, but it wasn't flowing as heavily, and I've heard different people say that sometimes the feed can't keep up when you're doing just a ton of writing like that. But generally, both of these pens were just really great. I would pick it up and write and just be like, oh, I like this. It wasn't like I was eager to quit using this ink, ready to try something else. This just really was very, very pleasant. I already have the bottle of the Ancient Diamine, so of course I put like. I guess I shouldn't say of course, because you can reevaluate your preferences. But I already knew that I liked it pretty well. But reusing it again this week, I'm like super glad that I have that ink, and it will be an ink that, even though I do have excuse me, that I already own, I would definitely buy it again. And let me hold this up and hope that you can detect some of the nice shading that's in this ink. I really like it, and I was writing somewhere else today. I can't remember which notebook now, but even if I tip this, I'm getting a little bit of kind of a little sparkle on there. So super nice. I wrote on my comments that this is a color that really resonates with me. I love this ink and enjoyed it on all my papers. I've had excellent shading, especially on the Cosmo, and the color is pleasant to read. Some colors are not, though they're fun to write with. So I think finding that is another one of my evaluation things is it can feel awesome to write with, maybe a real gushy ink, and it's like, ooh, this is just flowing, and feels really smooth on the paper. But then some of the inks, as fun as they are and as beautiful as they are, if they really have a lot of shimmer or sheen, some of them I think they're hard to go back and read. So if I were maybe sending a letter or writing in a journal, and this is something I think somebody in the future might want to read, noticing scraps on my counter. I don't want it to be a color that's hard on the eyes, or like you can't really catch the letters because there's too much shimmer. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, and maybe it's just right with what you like. But for me, that's something I want to consider. How readable is it, and does it flow so broadly, so wide that it's hard to read too? So there seems to be a happy medium between a wet ink and then an ink that's kind of wet that still flows nicely, but not too nicely, not too wide or too sloppy looking. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that is something I'm finding to be a little bit of a factor as I test out these inks. But I'll just show this again. This is on Cosmo Air light paper. When the light hits this a certain way, there is a few shimmer sections. I can see it in the T here, the bottom of the A, my funny dotted I that's actually over the E, the I on TWSBI, the N on, the T here, and then here I have slightly draggy. Okay, that'll be a comment for just a second. So I don't know. I'm not sure that would be picking up for you, but there is a little bit of a, let's see, sheen, I think is the right word. I get shimmer and sheen mixed up. I think shimmer is the glittery. And people have commented before to help me on that. I get those mixed up. Anyway, so when I said slightly draggy, so I was writing with the Lamy on this, and like on the Tomoe River paper with the TWSBI, or even with the Lamy, it was a very glidey experience. I love all these made up words. You just add a Y or an ish on them and they become a word. Oh my goodness, it's just something for my deficient vocabulary, I think. Anyway, slightly draggy. So what I meant by that was using this pen on the Cosmo, sometimes it seems like, and I love this, but it just is heavier. It's like it just doesn't want to move along. So not really having trouble with it now. Hello everywhere. Okay, I guess it's been a long day. I didn't have any problem with it then, but I wrote that because I guess at that point, maybe I had been writing for a while and the pen was like, come on already, I can't keep up. I don't know. Let's try it on this one. I'll just write something random. TWSBI, Eco. I always write the nib size and then which TWSBI because I have a bunch of the clear TWSBIs. Okay, so compared to this grips it more. This slides across and this is like it's slowing it down. So by draggy, I just kind of mean it's like pulling it in instead of going across the page. It's almost absorbing the ink a lot more readily as you go. Both are super nice still writing experiences. I like the broad line that I get with the Cosmo paper. And I've heard that described as it's just a little bit more absorbent and it kind of sucks it in, kind of think of like a sponge in a way, but not that dramatic. But it also shows off the quality, so I can see the sheen here, the little coppery or gold sheen. Both are really wonderful. You see a lot of shading here on that question mark. And you can see some, I hope you can see that. Here, let me show that again in case it was off screen. The shading here on the exclamation points, the question mark. And you get some also on the TWSBI. But I think it's a little bit more with the Lamy, on the Cosmo paper. So yeah, I like that. I like that feature a lot. I've written with this before and liked it, but it seemed like this week it was just like so nice to write with. You can really see it pulling here. So let's see. This is kind of random, but I'm noticing with the TWSBI, it went down pretty gushy. It's still not dry. And let's see what it does with the Lamy. Kind of the same idea. As this ink dries, it looks very coppery. It's called Ancient Copper, but sometimes I think the names, I don't want to say they don't fit, but they were made for me. I don't know. I can only speak for myself. They're not what I'm expecting. But the Ancient Copper is a color when it's wet or dry on the paper. I like how it looks. So I'm definitely going to buy this again. Let me just show you here. This is writing with the Lamy, and this is the Twisby. So that little bit of difference, though they're both broad, you know, they're the different kind of broad nibs, you get a lot thicker of a line there. And so that's really magnified when you're writing with it on the Cosmo Air. So I love the color. If you like coppery colors, earthy colors, what I call fall colors, you would probably like the Ancient Diamine. It's a, gosh, I said that last time. Ancient Copper by Diamine. I think it was a very good purchase and one that I'm definitely going to buy again if it's available when I run out, which I have a lot left. So starting on the 20th, I'm filming this on Saturday, but I'll try to remember to upload it tomorrow. On the 20th, I'm doing the Kaweco pen. I'm using, gosh, I swear I'm an airhead. It's not Noodler's Green Marine. It is, did I say I was like not functioning like a normal thinking human being today? Let's see. Okay, so it's not Kaweco Green Marine. It is Noodler's Green Marine in the Kaweco. Gosh. Noodler's Green Marine in the Kaweco. You're all cracking up right now, I can tell. Brass. I don't know if it's sport or something. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the brass Kaweco. And then in my golden espresso, I have the well, both of. Okay, gosh, I swear. Start over. In my Kaweco brass pen, I have the Noodler's Green Marine, and in my Kaweco golden espresso, I have the Oroshizuku ink by Pilot called Kujaku. No, Yamabudo. I'm going to have to do some major editing, or maybe I'll leave it and let everybody have a good laugh. I'm losing it. Okay. Anyhow, these pens I have a lot of trouble with. I really like writing with them for a while, and then they seem to start getting super dry. And this is where I've heard a lot of talk about the nibs drying out, or the feed not being able to keep up with a lot of writing. So what I thought was, if I put in a couple of my inks that are really good flowy wet inks, maybe I won't have that problem. So that's why I chose the Noodler's Green Marine and the Yamabudo. And the reason I keep getting confused, I think, is because of how I chose to write that. I should have written the ink color and then like the pen and pen type in the black. But anyway, you're getting the idea. These are both wet inks. I love writing with them. They don't give me any trouble, so I thought they would be super good ones to test. So I did just put some comments already, but after writing with them for a while, I will put more impressions down, and we'll see how these two pens do with a different ink. And I did write that I have both inks already. I have them. I'm not going to purchase them. I have them. I like them, but want to see how they work in my Kaweco pens that seem to run dry with most inks. I'm hoping these wet inks help me enjoy these pens more regularly or more consistently. So I like them a lot, and they're really pretty and different and fun, but when it starts to get dry, it's like it's no fun to write with anymore. So that's what I'm hoping to discover, is if those inks will make me happier with those. So, I mean, I could like already fill this out. So really, I'm talking about 2 different weeks here. This is the upcoming week. I'll come back next Sunday or thereabouts and tell you how the inks worked in these pens. But back to ancient copper. Yes, 100% thumbs up. Had a great week writing with that and was not eager to be done with it. The only other pen I have this one inked up. I always keep my Noodler's Heart of Darkness in there for some nice fine writing, just like a black pen. You know, it's like a fine tip type of pen. It's how it feels to me. And then I re-inked my Leonardo Momento Zero broad nib in the Kujaku. I really like that combination. I haven't tried anything else in it since getting it back. And then I am still using up my Jade Noir, and I bought a bottle of it because this also was just a very pleasant writing combination anytime I used it throughout this past week. So you know what, I probably am not going to take the time to edit out all my tongue-tied moments and mistakes. We've got a lot going on here, and to get this up will be good. Okay, so we're still waiting on the kitchen. Just an update if you're curious about that. I have a beautiful copper sink with no plumbing attached, but it looks nice. Hopefully soon. The countertops are being made as we speak. Hopefully, right? Anyway, they're on order. They're being cut to size. They've already made a template. And so my husband's on a fishing trip this weekend with his good buddy and a couple of our sons. And we decided, some of us that are in town, to surprise him by kind of updating his office. So we've been painting and sanding and buying curtains and plants and excuse me, he's got an office at home and it's really like a hole in the wall. He had to move from one area in our house to basically a storage room. I mean, it's really pathetic, but we're hoping to surprise him and he'll come home and be like, what on earth did you guys do? So we're also doing that. So I think editing this, just have a good laugh. Hopefully y'all be happy watching me make not a fool of myself, but just being so blah, 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 unable to get a coherent sentence out. I'm just going to blame the fact that we're doing things around the house and it's felt busy. Let's just go with that. So anyway, hope this was interesting to you. I'm having fun doing these comparisons. I know I'm kind of mix up every week the focus, but to me it's been super helpful personally to tweak my preferences, and it might help you make a decision about an ink as well. Have a great rest of the week. Great rest. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.